Hello and welcome to my cheap bulking diet. Straight into the video. I have meal one already made, just like it's magic. I have 250 grams of pasta and 250 grams of chicken. Now I know what you're thinking. Why are you eating pasta as your first meal as soon as you wake up? Well, let me tell you. I'm about to go and train after this meal. I do not want a high fat meal before I train. I could simply just go and have bacon, eggs and sausage, but that would be super high fat, super low carbs, and it would ultimately make me feel like shit. This is a way higher carb meal, very low fat, and that's why I'm having it pre-workout. So my advice to you, have a high carb meal with low fat before you train in the morning so you don't feel like shit during your session. If you watched my last full day of eating, you would have seen I had a hydration product in the morning. However, I haven't had that today as I've run out. So what I'm doing for this meal is basically putting as much salt on as I can physically bear. Salt is electrolytes, sodium, potassium, and I want to be hydrated before I train. Alongside that, I've got the world's biggest glass of water. This is 2 pints. I'm gonna try and drink 2 of these before I train. You've also got to bear in mind, I'm already gonna be dehydrated as I've just fasted for the last 9 hours. Anyway, I'm gonna eat this meal and then today we are off to train push and I'll show you my pre-workout. It's time for the pre-workout, baby. So I'm gonna show you everything that I eat in the day, even if this contains 0 calories. So I'm having 2 scoops of alpha pre-workout, code GeorgeP, if you're interested in that. I also take my creatine now, for no other reason, like I always say, it's just convenient. No, it won't have any performance enhancing effects if you take it before the gym. However, I always remember to take it with my pre-workout, so that's why I take it now. And before the gym, I always eat 1 banana. Now I've eaten a lot of carbs already, so it's not really for the carbs. It's for that extra potassium, which is an electrolyte, and also fructose, so I'm making sure I get in all those sugars from the fruits before the gym, as it will enhance my performance. Creatine, pre-workout and 1 banana, and that's all I need to have a sufficient gym workout. Now it's time for the gym, baby. Oh, that was so tiring. Holy flipping shit, mate. Have you ever seen a better looking meal than that one on my plate right now in a full day of eating? I bet you have not. For this next meal, we have 250 grams of rice, about 200 grams of steak, and about 200 grams of broccoli and cauliflower. Again, as a high performance athlete like myself, I'm only kidding, it's important to have a high carb meal straight after the gym. That's when all your stores are really low. So you want to get as many carbs in as possible post gym as well as pre-gym. And then I've also got 200 grams of steak for that protein. Forgot to mention, I'm also having 2 pints of water again with this meal because I'm pretty dehydrated now as I've just trained. And just like that, meal 2 has been consumed. I'm not gonna lie, I was struggling towards the end of that meal because that was a lot of rice. Hence why I have pasta, because I feel like it's just less volume than rice for the same amount of calories. Now, I'm gonna answer a question that I know you're gonna comment, and I know you commented in my last video, which was, why are you eating so many calories? 5,000 is excessive for your body weight, whatever. Firstly, I know my body better than any of you watching. So I know how quick I put on weight, and from experience, I don't put on weight very easily. 5,000 calories is a good number for me to actually put on weight. If I was to eat any less, I would just be gaining weight at such a slow rate. So 5,000 is a sweet spot for me. And yes, it is a lot. And yes, I will be putting on weight at a rapid pace, but there's no reason for me not to, right? I don't really care too much about body fat at this point. The goal at the moment is to get as strong as possible. As you know, I'm doing a road to 220 kg squat, 250 kilogram deadlift, and I've just started benching again because I want to get as strong as possible on those big 3. So that is the goal. It isn't to look insanely aesthetic, and I'm still pretty lean. Like, you can't lie, you've seen fatter people than that. With that being said, that is why I'm eating that many calories. It's actually been about 90 minutes since I finished that meal. However, I've just been on some calls, one with someone who's sorting out my website for me to get me more sales, and one of my mates who's also an influencer that I'm not naming yet, that I'm starting a business with. So exciting things along the way. Anyway, I'm gonna head downstairs and we're gonna make meal number 3. Welcome to the kitchen. That's right, this is my kitchen at university. And for meal 3, if you can guess, we have tuna and pasta. I have 250 grams of pasta, 1 tin of tuna, 30 grams of cheese, as always, 30 grams of hot sauce, and 30 grams of mayonnaise. Pretty staple for me. I always have 30 grams of those sauces, as it's just what mixes well with 250 grams after experimenting for a long amount of time. So I'm gonna sit down and eat, and I'll see you in a bit. Now, you've probably noticed throughout the day Thus far, my diet is very clean. That's because it doesn't just matter how many calories you have, it matters what those calories are made of. Macros are so important. It's important you are having high amounts of carbs with relatively low amounts of fat. I mean, it's gonna be a bit higher when you're bulking, but that's why you're bulking, right? And high amounts of protein. Just a quick one. If you're like me and put hot sauce on absolutely everything, the two I use is firstly this sriracha here, and then the Nando's hot sauce. I vary the two in between meals so I don't get bored, and honestly, I get through so much of that in the week. Hello, so I'm currently just editing the YouTube video that you're watching. I have not had my last meal yet, but I thought I'd show you while I'm editing, I am having 1 cup of tea and 1 protein bar from my protein. Just thought I'd show you that because it's still calories at the end of the day, even though it's only about 250. It is currently 11:56, so I'm only gonna edit for about half an hour more. Then I'm gonna get downstairs for the final meal of the day, meal number 4. Oh no! Now I've warmed up. It's game over for the toaster. Oh! Meal 4 is here, the final meal of the day. To be honest, I wouldn't even call this a meal because all it is 1 protein shake. We have 55 grams of protein powder in here, along with 450 milliliters of milk. And then, as always, 4 pieces of toast with Nutella on. This is so easy to get down. This has a lot of calories. I'll put the calories on the screen now, as always, but it's so easy to get down. If you are struggling for calories, you can up your fat on one of the meals. I would suggest doing it later in the day to avoid having a high fat around training. Total macros of the day will be on the screen now. 5,000 calories in just 3 meals, and then this. That is pretty good. I mean, 5,000 calories is quite a lot, right? And I've done it in just 4 eating blocks. Yes, I could have 6 meals, but I like to eat bigger meals because I like to save time. That's going to wrap up the video, short and sweet. If you could subscribe, that will mean the world. That's all I'm asking for. We've smashed 1.2k, so any higher than that, we greatly appreciate it. Subscribe, like the video, comment for more, and see you later.